Hi, my name's Natalie Reynolds and I'm the author of We Have a Deal. My book is all about how to negotiate both at work and in life. But today I'm going to talk to you about anchoring, or who should go first when we negotiate. So when I run workshops or I teach anyone how to negotiate, I will always ask them this question: who should make the first move at the negotiation table? And 9 times out of 10, the answer I get is the other side. Other answers I get tend to be things like the buyer should, or the seller should, you should, they should, or does it really matter? Well, it does matter. In fact, it matters a lot, and here's why. We need to be aware of something called anchoring. And anchoring is the phenomenon by which our brains are overly influenced by the first number or proposal that is put on the table when we negotiate. And it's a strange one because it's something that we don't think should affect us, but the science tells us that we are overly affected by it. So if someone makes the first proposal in a negotiation, both parties are then thinking about that proposal. It's just the way our brains work. So let's think of it this way. Imagine that you and I were negotiating. Let's say we were negotiating for the shirt that you might be wearing or the top that you're wearing. You might be thinking of a price for that shirt in your head, and that price might be £20. But before you can say that out loud, I get in there first and make an offer for that shirt, and I make an offer of £5. And I say, I like your shirt, I'll give you £5 for it. Now right then, whether you like it or not, this is a £5 negotiation. It just is, because you haven't said anything else. I'm the only one who said something out loud. It's the only tangible number now that's on the table. And so both of us are thinking about it. That's where we are. We are at £5. Now, the reason that anchoring works is that we then get fixated on that opening proposal. So you might not like the fact that I've said £5, you might want a lot more. But what you will then probably do is fall into the trap of going on and on and on about my proposal. And you might say, £5? £5? That's outrageous. Where did you get £5 from? That's offensive. This is worth way more than that. Explain yourself. And so I will explain myself, and I will keep talking about £5. And at the end of all your protestation, all your pushback, all your telling me how rubbish my opening proposal is, we're still at £5. We've not gone anywhere, we've not moved anywhere, you've not achieved anything. And what the science tells us is that actually the more you talk about their price, the more likely they are to finish closer to that price. And actually, the more you talk about your price, the more likely you are to finish closer to your price. There's another reason why anchoring works, and it's all to do with changing our plan. So let's imagine that you and I are negotiating, and let's imagine that I want to get a certain price for a product that I'm trying to sell you. And I might have a figure in my mind of £55,000 that I want to charge for this product or service. So I'm thinking 55. The problem is, before I can say 55, you get in there first and offer me 46,000 instead. So right now, this is a £46,000 negotiation. So as I said, the other reason that anchoring is so powerful, that I will then probably start to think this: 46? I wanted 55. Hang on a minute. If I now say 55, I'm going to look greedy or pushy or selfish. There's no way they're going to agree to that. Actually, what I should probably do is lower my expectations and lower my price so it more closely matches theirs. And so instead, I open my mouth and I say, okay, I can't do that, but I could accept 50. And I have then moved down my expectations to more closely match yours. The sad thing about that is that you might have been thinking all along that you could have gone as high as 52. But by lowering my expectations more closely to match your opening proposal, I end up selling myself short and never getting the best deal I could have done. So when it comes to anchoring, it's really, really quite simple. Anchoring is real. It affects all of us. And the research tells us that it affects even educated, professional people who know their industry or market really well. We will still be anchored. Research also tells us that even when we're warned about anchoring, we're still affected by it. So if someone was to say to you, be careful of anchoring, don't let their first proposal sway you, a lot of people will be. So these would be my tips for anchoring. The first one is this: try and go first if you can. The science tells us, research tells us, and our observations certainly tell us that the person who goes first is far more likely to get a deal that works better for them. But if you can't go first, just follow the following tips. Number one, don't keep going on and on and on and on about their proposal. All you're going to be doing is then cementing their position for them. And the second thing to remember is stick to your plan. Don't change your opening proposal just because theirs wasn't quite what you expected, because that's what they want you to do. That's how anchoring works. So try and go first if you can, but if you can't, don't keep going on about it and simply stick to your plan. And remember, the best way to beat a proposal is to make one of your own. Cast out a new anchor, and then you bring the power back to you.